What are the ramifications of being an organism? Being a metabolizing, struggling to continue type of being? Well, the first ramification is that for Jonas, this is kind of a miracle. In terms of the physical universe, now think of how vast the universe is, and think of how unique the organism is in terms of what else exists in the universe. This is a kind of a miracle that there are beings like us that have to struggle to maintain their existence. Every moment of their existence is a kind of a work process of continuing to exist, or else they go out of existence. This makes us unique, we organisms. And for him, the miracle of this produces the realm of need. We have needs. We feel. You know, we have what he calls subjective inwardness. That is, our lives and the continuation of our lives are a meaningful project for ourselves. This is an amazing thing in terms, again, of the view of the universe as a whole. We're unique in that respect. And because of this process of continually having to work to live, continually having to work to just continue to be who we are, and to this struggle entails two things for Jonas, which are related and maybe are just the different ways of expressing the same thing. He says on page 36, towards the bottom of the first column, the basic clue is that life says yes to itself. By clinging to itself, it declares that it values itself. So this process of being an organism is a process of continually saying yes to life, to affirming the value of life, to the value of continued existence. And of course, at the same time, this affirmation of life is a negation of death. It's saying no to death. Continually in this essay, he puts things in a very sort of abstract philosophical sense, and thankfully comes back to earth sometimes and puts it in a more concrete sense. But as far as abstract philosophical sense, on page 36, in the second column, towards the end of the first paragraph, he calls this saying no to death negated not being. That is, we have to constantly negate, cancel out, say no to death, which is always there as a possibility. So the burden is to, constantly having to stave off death, to say no to death. But that's only something we do because we're saying yes to life. We're affirming the value and the worth of our continued existence, because if we didn't think our continued existence was worthy, we would not work to preserve it, because it is work. But this raises the question, really, you can see how Jonas sees death at the very center of our existence, very 20th century, very sort of existentialist, as we'll see when we read Glenn Gray's essay on the idea of death and existentialism, that our mortality and the possibility of death is just absolutely crucial for our self-understanding. I'll tell you why, because what he gets to in pages 36, 37, really 37 and 38, is this really raises the question of, why do we value life? Is life really as meaningful as we act as if it is? That is, come to think of it, why are we struggling so much? Why are we affirming life? Is it just a blind, instinctual thing? On a certain level, no doubt it is. We affirm life just out of pure biological instinct. But is life, when we contemplate it, when we reflect on it, is life really worth the effort? If we look at what he says again on page 37, he has kind of an answer to that.